Pilates, and we are going to go over just some trigger point release around the shoulder blades, also the traps. We'll go through some release of the front of the neck, and then we'll do some shoulder mobility exercises. So the first thing you want to do is find a place where you can do this. It can be the floor, or it can be your bed or a couch. I will say a harder surface is better for using the ball. We're going to put it in between the inside of our shoulder blade, between the shoulder blade and the spine. And you can start low and go high, or you can start high and go low. It's completely up to you. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time showing it because you can stop the video and do this on your own, but I'll give you some pointers and then you can do both sides and restart the video. So you're going to find a place where you can set that ball and come down onto the ball, and it feels like a lot of pressure. Mine is a little bit lower on the underside of my lat, and you can start moving your arm around. You can do all sorts of things, in and out, up and down, just to work that muscle tissue. You can go in circles, and then you might slide down or slide up. And so I'm finding that place in between my shoulder blade. Oh, that feels so good. When you really need it, you're going to work your way all the way up. So we want to hold on these different areas for about 10 to 20 seconds. If you don't feel like moving, you can certainly just hold on that area. Usually 10 to 20 seconds will help release that muscle tissue or the trigger point. If you would like to hold a little bit longer, all the way up to 1.5 minutes, but no more than that. And then we're going to work our way all the way up to the top corner of the shoulder blade. So like I said, I am just flying through these different spots, talking about them, but you can pause your video. Then we're going to get into the traps. So you want to be kind of close to the neck. We're not going directly into the neck, but we are just to the side of it, kind of in the corner or the crook of the neck and where the shoulder meets. And we're going to lift our pelvis up to get at this angle here. And I like to lift and lower my arm to kind of help massage that out a little bit. And then you can work away from the neck a little bit to the second trigger point. And again, lift and lower. Okay, so that is how we would release those muscles around the scapula and the upper trapezius. Once you sit up and you've done both sides, you can kind of move around and let that release a little bit. Now I'm going to go through a quick series that is an Eric Franklin series. And we're going to start with the sternocleidomastoid. So that starts at the mastoid process, a muscle that comes down and connects to the clavicle and the sternum. And what we want to do is we want to kind of lean our head towards the side, take our opposite hand, and you're going to pinch with your thumb and your pointer finger or your middle finger. And you have to get in, you have to kind of like press in to grab so that you're not just holding onto the skin. That does nothing. You have to grab onto the muscle. And you want to grab, usually there's more tension either closer to the top of this or a little further down in the middle. Okay, and you can move around your fingers if you'd like, or you can just squeeze and have that pressure. You can move down and do another one. You will notice that that muscle splits, and you can do lower trigger points if needed. Okay, so you're going to release that 10 to 20 seconds as you're holding and manipulating there. Then you're going to find underneath your clavicle here, between your clavicle, collarbone, and your first rib, you're going to rub with your middle finger. Just rub back and forth. Then you're going to go down one rib between your first and second rib, and you're going to rub back and forth. Anywhere from 8 to 10 times is good. And then we're going to lift our arm. We're going to grab, again, dig in really deep so you get the pectoralis major and minor, and you're going to squeeze that muscle, not just the skin, and you're going to move your arm back and forth. And this really helps massage and work this out. You can move this around for a while, holding about 10 to 20 seconds, and then shake it out. And you'll feel this whole front of your neck release. This is so important because we're on our phones so much and all of this gets really tight, or we're looking at computers. So important to release this. Then we're going to go into another trap release, our upper traps. Take 3 fingers of your opposite hand. You're going to find a spot that's tender, press down on it really hard, and lift and lower the arm. And then find a new spot, lift and lower the arm. Just breathing through it, find another tender spot. And by tender, I just mean kind of feels like there's a knot in there, or it's sore. And then you want to find 4 or 5 places. You can take your time. I'm kind of speeding through it. The last one, you just want to shake your arm up and down. And then you're going to release. And you'll notice probably just on the video that this shoulder is a little bit more relaxed. I can actually reach this arm, you can't really see, but I can actually reach it higher because that trap is free, my shoulder is free, and it feels really good. And I will do my other side later so you can see. The next thing that we're going to do, I'm going to show you, is shoulder mobility. So there's 3 things that we can do for shoulder mobility. We're going to lie on our side with our knees bent. They're just stacked. I would really prefer if your head was fully resting on the table, because in this we're going to get a really big stretch on that right side. If this is just too much or you have some neck issues, go ahead and put a ball or a pillow underneath your head. Okay. You're going to stack your arms one on top of the other, so our bottom arm is coming straight up from the shoulder, and I'm going to reach as far as this arm will allow. And then I'm going to slide that hand over the arm across the chest, open up. I'm trying not to let my hips go. I'm trying to feel that stretch even in the back of the hips. Then I fold my arm in and I reach it again. This is called telescope. So we're reaching in that direction, we're sliding it, pulling that shoulder back, and then opening up and reaching away out the window. Okay, once you've done that one, you can do that about 3 times. You can do just open book. So this one is opening up and closing in. You can also do a bent arm if that's available to you, where you open up the thoracic spine and close it in. So those are all available to you. And then I actually am going to slide down a little bit for the next one. I forgot to come a little lower on the Cadillac here. We're going to open up for pinwheels. So we're going to circle around with this arm, and I'm reaching the arm in every direction as I circle around. I'm trying to reach, so that I get the biggest opening I can. And here is the beauty of keeping no pillow under your head. This reach right here, oh, feels glorious. Great stretch for the neck. And you're going to come around. You're going to go 3 times in one direction, and then you're going to circle 3 times in the other direction. And again, you just have to keep thinking, I'm reaching my fingertips, trying to make the biggest circle I can, as if I have light pouring out my fingers and it's shining all around, making this big circle of light. Ah, it feels so good when you take the time to do these. So if you have some shoulder mobility issues, you can do these for a couple times a week initially, but eventually we want to get to the point where we're just having to check back into these maybe once a month, maybe have a self-care Sunday and just take time to get on your floor, play some music, and do these exercises. But initially, you may need to do them for a while more frequently and then make them less frequent. Thank you for joining me.